Hey everyone, welcome to another Pride Investigator Advice podcast. This is episode 66. In this episode, I interview someone special. I interview my daughter. So with that being said, let's do the introduction here. And of course, I don't have it queued.
This is a PI podcast.
Alrighty then. Okay. Anyways, thank you for tuning in to the Pride Investigator Advice podcast. I'm your host, Andrew, and with me today, well, wait, before I get started, if you are new to the podcast, I want to thank you for joining. Right now we are doing a live thing on Meerkat. So if you're looking to see the podcast live, I never tell anybody in advance. I didn't even know I was going to do a podcast until about an hour and a half ago with some prodding from my daughter. But with that being said, so if you're new, it's a podcast that talks about careers. I give you advice on careers, how to get into the industry, how to participate in this industry, surveillance, and all these different stories. Basically, it's a hodgepodge of all kinds of awesome information. Anyways, you're going to get a lot out of it one way or the other. And if not, you're going to enjoy it on your ride to work. So yeah, I'm Andrew, and this is my daughter, Mimi. Mimi, can you say hello?
Hi, guys.
This is my daughter of 10 years, and she, I wanted to I want to interview somebody that, like my family. I want to interview someone that I knew really well before I started my little expanding my horizons and interviewing people about their careers and whatnot. So what better person to interview than my own daughter, right?
Yeah,
So
I guess.
let me ask you this. Let me ask you a few questions before I go off this list here.
Okay.
Do you have any hobbies?
Yes.
What are your hobbies?
Well, learning about dogs and
You
stuff.
like dogs,
I
right?
love dogs.
Great. I get to hear about dogs just about every day. And if it's not dogs, it's Minecraft, because that's what the kids are into.
I love Minecraft.
Yeah. And what sports do you participate in?
I participate in wrestling
Mm-hmm.
and I participate in soccer.
Nice. And okay, so let me ask you some questions here for this interview. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm
Are you
ready.
Okay.
I'm ready.
So, my daughter, she's only known me to be in the private investigation industry. She's never known me to have a different job, really. I have sprinkled in some other jobs in there, but this has been basically it, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. And man, do you hear that noise?
I do. Is it your computer?
Hold on. I don't think they can hear it, so that's good. But yeah, it's really loud. It just really kicked in on the fan there.
Okay.
Anyway,
Wow.
yeah, so I'm gonna get into my first question here. He's like, what do you want to be when you grow up?
I want to be a vet and a dog breeder.
Okay, and why do you want to do that?
Well, I want to be a vet because I love animals and I love to help them if they're ever in need. And I want to breed, well, because I think puppies are really cute. And some breeds, I think they have to expand the breed for multiple reasons.
I have no idea what you just said.
I know you don't.
But, okay, you like dogs.
Yeah.
You want to be a vet.
Mhm.
Okay, and you want to breed dogs.
Yes.
Okay.
I
Pretty
love
simple.
dogs, not like dogs. I love dogs.
Okay. Now, let me ask you something, because it's my opinion that, and I've talked about this before on the podcast, that careers people change their mind.
Yeah,
I don't even know what I
know.
wanted to be when I was a kid, but
Not a lot of people back when you were a kid knew what they wanted to be.
I think everybody has an idea of what they want to be sometimes, but they don't necessarily do it.
True.
Okay, so let me ask, so you love dogs.
Yes.
Do you think that you'll ever change your mind in your career? You think you'll ever go, you know what? No,
No.
I want to be a doctor.
No.
I want to be an accountant.
No.
I want to mow lawns for a living.
No.
You sure? Or maybe you don't want to have a job at all. Maybe you just want to, you're going to have children, you get married, and you just want to raise your children. No?
No.
No? Okay. All right. So, no, it'll never change. You say that. Now, mind you, in episode 300 and something, I'll interview you again, and when you're like
Okay.
30.
All right. Okay.
Okay. All right. So, what do I do for a living? What do you think I do?
You are a private investigator.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm right.
What does that mean? What is that? What's my job? What do I have
Well-
to do? What do you think I do? What have I told you that I do? What do you remember?
Well, I know you interview people.
I do.
That's what you say almost every single
Yeah.
day.
Yeah. More recently, that's what I do. Yep.
Yeah, and
What
then
else?
you do surveillance on people.
Yep.
And that's all I really know.
Well, I do other stuff, but
Well,
that's
you never really told me other stuff. That's kind of all I know.
yeah. That's
be
what you. When I'm not home, I'm doing that stuff, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And okay. And what do you think about it? Like,
Well,
do you like it? Do you like the fact that I do that job?
no, because sometimes it takes you away from home, and I just don't like your job, to be honest. I don't like it. That's just my opinion.
Okay. So you kind of have an idea of what I do, right?
Yeah.
You know, basically I do that. I interview people and I do surveillance.
Yeah.
A lot of what I'm doing is I'm just information collecting, right?
Yeah.
I'm just
And
getting
then-
information from people, or I'm getting through the video that I get. That's information for the client that I provide that video to.
Yeah, and then giving it to your bosses.
Right. Well, yeah, they get it too.
'Cause-
They look at
yeah.
it. Yeah.
They
And
get
so
everything.
okay, and so you don't really like my job,
No.
and you said because why it takes me away from my.
Well, it takes you away from home, and we really like to spend time with you
Right.
and take us. And I like when you take us to school and pick us up from school.
Is this ever something you would want to do as a job?
No.
Why not?
Well, because I don't. When you're doing surveillance, all you're pretty much doing is just sitting in a car all day, and I get car sick, and I don't like to drive to far distances, and
That's true. I do. A lot of that is true. I do sit in a car for a long period of time. That you can't deny that.
Yeah.
Whether I'm driving a long distance just to get there, and then if
driving back.
That's true. And if things go really well, and when I say that, that means I find who I'm looking for, and they're active and they're doing things, and I follow them. That could last a very long time.
yeah,
And so those days could be really long, right?
yeah.
so, yeah,
But at
but-
least you
but
have some action.
When I first got into it, I was very excited about doing it. My heart, my adrenaline would go, and I'd be very excited. But not so much anymore. And this happens after time. And you said so. Now, why would you not want to do it? What did you say?
No, because I don't like sitting in a car
that's right.
for a long period of time, and I don't like driving long distances because I get car sick.
What if all you had to do was just interview people?
Well, I
Just
don't.
ask them questions.
I don't enjoy doing that either. Like, to be
Oh,
honest,
okay.
I'm
You
not.
don't care about
I'm
people?
not. I'm not a really people person.
You're not
well,
a people person.
well, not. Yeah.
I don't think
mean,
I'm a people person either. So I don't. Maybe I shouldn't be doing this.
I don't like to listen to people's conversations. I don't care for what they have to say.
Okay. So
Like other people.
now, you've never participated in this job with me,
No.
and
I don't
but
want to.
right.
I
So,
don't want to.
so as my daughter, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
what do you think some of the benefits of this job? What are some of the benefits of this job? What do you think? What do you like about it, and the fact that how it affects the family?
Well, it brings home money.
Sometimes, yeah.
Well, enough money, and it has something for you to do.
Great. Now, more recently, there's been flexibility to where I've been able to take you to school, pick you up.
Which I enjoy.
Right. You do like that? And I'm more of a flexible schedule, right? Now,
Yeah.
earlier,
You do not have a flexible
No, I did
schedule
not.
at all. Like,
Right.
not.
what was my schedule like?
Well, at first, when I started school, I went to my grandma's house, and she would take us and pick us up and stuff. And
Why?
because you guys had to go work.
Right,
And
right.
so Mom would drop us off.
Right.
And so later on, you got a little bit more flexible, and now you pick us up every single day.
Right. You think is that important for you guys?
Yeah, I like it. I like it.
What?
Well, I like it for a lot of reasons because, well, you pick us up in your fancy car.
Well, that doesn't mean anything.
Well, no, that's not the reason. I'm just kidding. I'm joking around with you.
What?
But I like to. Well, I don't really have a reason. I just like it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what? As my daughter, like not like you participate, not because I have to drive, and not because I'm gone a lot or whatever. As my daughter, why do you not like the job? What are the reasons that you would not want me to do this job anymore and do something else?
Well, I'll tell you the job that I would want you to do is just work on your podcasts and blogs, and that's what
I would like
want
that
you
too.
to do.
That would be a nice job if it paid me anything, right?
Yeah.
If I made money doing it.
Yeah.
But I don't make that. I don't make very much money doing this.
Well, you make enough.
Nah, I don't make very much. Trust me.
I know you don't make. Well.
So.
Still.
So you now. Well, I mean, okay. So now I know I enjoy that, but why would you want me to do that?
Well, because it's something fun that you like to do,
Right.
and you'll spend more time with us. You'll have more time to play with us and stuff.
Okay.
And then, I want you to quit your job.
Oh.
Why I want you to quit it is because I don't think it's very much fun for you. I think you don't like your job as much.
There are days that I do not like my job, but I think that happens with a lot of people.
Yeah.
You just get burnt out.
Well, I will not burn out with my job.
You don't think you'll burn out with playing with pets and taking care of them?
No.
No.
That's something fun. That's something I would look forward to do.
So, in your experience with me and our family and me doing this job, do you think, from your perspective, do you think that a private investigator job is good for somebody with a family?
No.
Why?
Because, well, I would say no because some people take in cases where they have to go really far away, and kids want their parents to spend time with them and hang out. And then some people just take in small cases, which people sometimes do a lot, which you like to do. You like to take small cases.
I like the small ones. I like to come home every day.
Yeah.
Right.
So I do a lot.
And so are you saying that the cases that take people far away from home wouldn't be good for their family?
Yeah.
Okay. Now,
nobody wants their parents to go to far places.
You're right. I can only imagine. I mean, I wouldn't have want that with my parents. So let me ask you this. Even when I travel and we got on the phone and we could talk on the phone and I can see the video and stuff of each other, is that not okay? Is that
No, because I want you to be home.
Okay.
I actually want you to be home and take us to bed and stuff.
Right. Do you think it's harder on Mom when I'm not around?
Yes.
Yeah. Why?
We're
more work to do?
We're like monkeys.
Well, you guys aren't that bad.
Oh, really?
If you could choose a job for your dad to do, and I know we said podcasting and stuff, but let's talk about maybe a real job.
Well, this is a real job. This is what some people do for a living.
Maybe in 20 years it'll be a real job, but right now it's just something
side
to do.
Job.
Well,
something for fun. Something for fun. Side job.
Something to help people.
Yeah.
So if you could choose a job for me to do, would it just be blogging? Would it just be working from home? Is that what you'd rather have me do?
Well, I would rather have you do that, but if you're thinking about like something like a real job,
what do you think I'd be good at?
Nothing.
Good question. Good answer. Good answer.
Well, I'm being really honest. I don't think you could fit in any other job.
Why?
Because you wouldn't.
You got no reason?
No reason.
just think this is either this job or I'm unemployed.
Yes.
I'm not working. That's probably true.
Well, okay.
There's probably a lot of truth in that.
You wouldn't be able to fit with, like, just working with people, like in a grocery store.
I have a difficult time working with people.
Yes,
that's a
you
good
do.
skill. What else?
You wouldn't do well, even though you have like all the things you could have for being a teacher, you wouldn't be a very good teacher.
Even though I like teaching, I wouldn't be a very good teacher. Good to know. Good to know.
That's too
Make
rough
sure
on
you guys
kids.
tune in to my Private Investigator courses where I teach badly. Okay. So basically,
Well,
you just think this is a better fit for me, even though I don't. It takes us away and all that. It's just a better fit. Oh, okay.
Extremely.
It's extremely a good fit. Okay.
Yeah. You're not. And plus, you want to be able to be a good teacher because you're not very like with an elementary, middle school, and high school teacher because you don't have the patience for kids.
I don't have the patience.
Well, like for teaching kids.
Probably not.
Yeah, you don't have.
I wouldn't be able to tolerate very much. Well, I could probably teach your age.
You could teach my age, but
I'd
you
probably get in
cannot
trouble.
tolerate.
I'd probably get in trouble if I taught the older kids too. I'd probably be arrested or something. Let me. Okay, so.
Okay.
You kind of already talked about it. This kind of comes into my last question. I was, you remember when I traveled away from home a lot, and
I did not like that.
no, that's how you didn't like it at all. No.
No. Because I worry about you. I don't want anything to happen.
Yeah, a lot of driving a long ways, but that's just kind of part of it,
I don't want you to be away from too far away from him. You could be out of town, a few miles out of town.
I would never be out of, well,
You've
if I'm
been
out of town,
before.
I would not be a couple miles away. It'd be a lot further than that.
Couple miles away out of town.
That's not how that works. You don't know your miles very well.
I'm only,
Usually I have to be
fine.
about 2.5 hours away from home for me not to come home because,
Okay.
and even actually then I'll even try to come home, but
you try.
right.
But sometimes that doesn't work out too well.
But yeah, okay. So not a good job. You don't think for families? No. You don't like when I travel?
No.
You think
Nobody does.
Do you think if someone's going to get into this job, they should really try to make it so that
Make
they
their
can come
time-
home
Yeah, make their time flexible.
and so they could be with their family? Because it's important to you guys.
Yeah.
It is important.
It's important to us kids.
Yeah. Well, I agree, and that's why I try.
You should agree.
I try to be home. I try to.
You do try. You try.
But yeah, one of the things about the way things now is that even though I can do what I do and take you guys to school and pick you up and stuff, I have to fit the work in somewhere. So it's either it's while you're gone at school or it's after school.
Or it's during the weekends, too.
Or it's during the weekends.
Unless we have something planned.
Right.
To do.
We're also recording on
Muskrat.
Muskrat? Cheetah? Meerkat. That's what it is.
Meerkat.
We're on Meerkat, and someone says, I have a suggestion that may or may not work for you there. The iPhone or the iPad should be higher. We're charging at the same time, so we've got this plug in the bottom that's kind of, it's not perfect. We know. We got 3%. If I unplug this bad boy, we'll be disconnecting shortly. So
dead.
Yeah. So, if you guys are ever on the Twitters, my handle is Fraud PI Tacoma. That's my Twitter handle. You guys could probably find it. I don't know if you just Google me or something for Twitter, Andrew on Twitter. But yeah. So, well, is there any questions that you have for me?
Anybody?
No, you, my daughter.
Oh. Do you like your job?
Do I like my job? I think that there's a lot of gratifying things about this job that I don't even think that people realize, because I think people.
Okay, I guess I'm one of them.
Yeah, I think a lot of people interpret the job as we're always trying to get the bad guy, right?
Yeah.
Or the one who's doing something illegal or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times you run into these people, especially when you do, not the surveillance. The surveillance
like,
side, you don't get to talk to people, but when you get to interview people, then you get to understand who they are and what they're about. And sometimes it's, I'll do an interview where I'm just checking on their well-being. They're called alive and well checks. And the interview itself could probably take about 15 minutes, but I end up...
longer. Because you've taken a few hours before.
Yeah, but these are really short. They're about 10 or 15 questions. You ask them, and you just got to check on their well-being. But what ends up happening is I'll end up spending about an hour and a half with them.
Yeah.
just because they want to talk and they're lonely.
Yeah, like
And so I'm there, and then just they start talking about their family and their kids, and they're lonely because they're usually elderly and they're by themselves, and and I get to be there, and I remember them every year. I'll see them every year, and I'll say, "How are you still teaching music? Are you still doing your monthly visits with your daughters and having lunch with them?" Oh yeah, we go to shopping and we're still doing that. It still happens, and then I almost look forward to it. And some of them are these older people are
elderly dad.
elderly. They're sassy. Hold on, let's hear. Oh, there you go. Oh, thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Getting comments from the Twitter. Anyways, there are some gratifying things about the industry, at least in the insurance investigation industry, that I didn't appreciate so much until probably these last couple of years. Yeah. And that's made a lot, and that I do look forward to some of this. Some of these interviews are horrible and very difficult, and people don't want to cooperate, and they're mad at me, and I didn't do nothing to them. And
sometimes that happens, but that's rare.
It's less rare than you
told
think.
me that was rare.
Well, I told you.
You told me that was rare.
You have a specific impression because you remember the bad things I come home saying. You don't. I don't talk about all the good times because they're good. I don't have to worry about them.
Well, you barely talk about the good times, and you more talk about the bad times.
Well, it's because there's nothing to talk about. Like, it was a good day. I didn't have anybody yell at me, and nobody was mad at me. And they did the interview. They answered all my questions, and you
do come home with some good stories, and you enjoy talking
some of
to
them
those
are nice.
people.
Yeah, but anyways, that's good enough.
Yeah.
So that's it, I guess. I guess we're gonna wrap this up. You say you don't have any other questions? That's it? No, you good?
I have one more question.
You have any more statements you want to make? This is you're the first interviewee. We've been on for about 20 minutes or so.
Yay.
Yeah.
I have a question for you.
Yeah, go ahead. Shoot.
Wait, I just forgot about the question. That happens a lot.
Yeah. Okay, that's great. This is great. This is great radio right here. Yep.
Yeah.
Great podcasting. I'll tell you what. If you guys have a question, you guys on Meerkat.
Boomers are older people. And
WP guys talking on this Meerkat thing. He says, please let your daughter know that the boomers are older people. Elderly is also okay. So he's clarifying what is appropriate to say. I don't even know what's appropriate to say. Thank you for your input there.
Wait, boomers.
WPC guy.
Okay.
Yeah, if you guys have a question, whether you're on Meerkat or whether you're listening on the podcast or whether you are catching us on the, I'm going to start putting video on the podcast as well. If you have a question, listen, you guys can send me a video. That's happened before. I haven't showed it yet. You guys could send me an audio. If you go to the Pride Investigator Advice website, let me go here real quick. I can't remember what it's called. I think it's called
Wait, what? Spaced out.
No, it's there's a specific little device on the Pride Investigator Advice website. Where is it at? It's called it's on the side of the page. You can go send voicemail. You click on that. It'll let you record a little message to me. It'll through the computer, through your little microphone on there.
That's cool.
And then it'll email it to me, and I will play your question on the podcast if it's appropriate.
Oh, yeah.
And anyways, you can do it that way. You can email me with a question. I'm going to be doing a whole nother little series here. I'm just answering questions. They're going to be nice and sweet. I'll try not to be too redundant. Hopefully some people get their questions answered through this podcast. And I'm not going to make them as big and as long anymore. I still have podcasts that I actually basically written up, ready to go. One's in the hopper that I haven't even sent yet. That's going to come out before this one. But anyways, let's see here. Make sure there's nothing else here.
Okay, I have one more question. Can I do this again?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're right. Being too politically correct. Yeah, I'm not that politically correct, but whatever. So yeah, if you guys want to participate in the show, what do you got?
Can I do this again? This is fun.
You want to?
Can I be your partner now? Can I be your partner? I want to be your partner.
I think you could probably be my co-host again in the future. Okay.
Co-host.
I don't know how often, I don't want to expectations too high.
Once a month.
You have your own podcast that you're doing, so
Once a month. You're my co-host.
I know. I help move it along. But anyway, so here, there's just too many complaints here. You know, we're almost done, guys. On the meerkat, we're almost done, so it's almost over.
Just almost over.
Yeah.
7.
So,
well,
anyways,
I'll
you want to hold it? All right.
I can hold this.
All right, guys. So I want to wrap it up. Again, if you guys want to visit the website, the Pride Investigator Advice website, you can go to the YouTube page. We've got about 80-something videos on there, podcasts and surveillance tips and tech tips and reviews on spy equipment. Definitely worth checking out. Just search Pride Investigator Advice on the YouTube, and it'll be on there. And listen, stay tuned. It's just been a really busy time for me and my family, and it's been. I mean, if it wasn't for her pushing me to do this podcast right now, it wouldn't even have been done.
I would keep pushing you.
Yeah,
I want to do this.
Yeah, thankfully she pushed me out here to do this, and so we knocked one out. Anyways, thank you guys so much for listening, watching. Appreciate all you guys. Whatever. If you can save me here on the meerkat, maybe you guys will know next time I come on again. Maybe next week I'll be on. Again, that's it for today, and I'm going to go ahead and do the little music that the meerkat people can't hear, but everybody who's listening to the podcast. And if you're listening to the podcast, hey guys, go to iTunes, subscribe, or whatever you want to, whatever you listen to podcasts on, and subscribe. Leave a comment. Leave a review on iTunes if you guys do that kind of stuff. Much appreciated. Subscribe. Love to have you guys listen. And that's going to be it. I've just totally got too much to say, and I dragged this stuff on. So
That's what you
who
do.
did I do? Did
you do that every
did you do your intro or Carter's?
You
Did I do Carter's?
You did Carter's.
Okay, so
right.
we'll do yours.
Okay.
This is a PI Advice Podcast.
All right.
Okay. Bye, guys. It says, "Wow, the colors are brilliant." My screen right now. I hated your ceiling.
Okay.
The ceiling was like tilting up.
Okay, that's done.
8 people were viewing. Hold on.